Welcome back to the Green Line Gazette, episode 11. We are coming at you with breaking news moments ago. Red Sox release manager Alex Cora after the Red Sox fall to 10-17 on the season. Guys, remember we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Substack. Give us a listen. Give us a follow on Instagram at the Green Line Gazette. And I mean, with no further ado, let's get into this. So yes, Cora, right, just let go moments ago by the Red Sox, along with Ramon Vasquez, their bench coach, Peter Fatse, the hitting coach. I would assume Dylan Lawson, the assistant hitting coach, is going as well. John Soteropoulos, another hitting coach. And then I believe the third base coach, Kyle Hudson, and then Jose David Flores of first base. They did hang on to Andrew Bailey, their pitching coach. We'll get into that into a moment, as he seems to be an early leading candidate for the interim position that will open up very shortly. To start, I mean, we have to say, I mean, right, they're 10-17, basically last in the AL East behind the Yankees by 6 games. We're 20th in the league in the MLB with in terms of batting average at .229. We're 29th in the league with home runs because we only have 13. 22nd in the league in terms of ERA at 4.4. Tough loss to the Orioles yesterday. Obviously, great win today, 17-1. First time since playing the Blue Jays in 2015 did every player that batted get a hit. So after that great game, obviously, poor news follows. Cora was 619 and 553, 3 playoff appearances in 8 seasons with the Red Sox. Obviously, the crown jewel of that, his inaugural 2018 season, the World Series title, the Red Sox last World Series title. And then the 2 other playoff appearances. Obviously, he'll be remembered mostly for that World Series title in Boston, but definitely also the cheating scandal that came out in 2020 and 2021, where he was suspended and then later returned to the team post cheating scandal, first Puerto Rican manager to ever win the World Series, obviously with the Red Sox. So we will miss him, but I want to say it was time for him to go. Quite an interesting time to release him. It's very early into the season. I say it all the time. This is a 162 game season. You're mid-series with an AL East divisional opponent, and you let him go. So timing on this is quite odd from the Red Sox organization. That kind of makes me think this was premeditated in terms of how long it's been going, and maybe this has been in conversation for 2 or 3 weeks, because I don't think they would fire him on the spot, especially not after today's game, as they picked up their 10th win in great fashion. So very, very interesting timing on his departure. Not too sure why, right? We're only 7 games below 500. Yes, we are struggling, but it's late April, right? I'm a little confused what's going on, to be quite honest. He had criticism definitely from the organization over management of the bullpen. Outside of 2018 and 2021, the results produced on the field have been far below the standard of Boston sports. I think that's quite obvious, not to sound too snobby or anything there. But I think that there's a standard that if you are hired as a manager or a head coach, or if you're a big star in Boston, right, there's expectations that come with that. And obviously, that World Series was great. That's awesome. We'll love them forever for that. But I mean, that was 8 years ago, which sounds ridiculous to say, by the way. I mean, time is flying, right? I was a freshman in high school when that happened. I'm now a junior, almost senior in college. So yes, it's nice to remember him for that 2018 run. How fun that was, might I mention. But yeah, 8 years ago, if outside of 2021 and that playoff run, You haven't really put anything on the field. You haven't been playing great, especially these past 3 years. You obviously are tied into the sign stealing scandal that we already mentioned. It it maybe, when you sound it out like that and you really lay it out like that, you sound like, that maybe we should have seen this coming. Was it a little more obvious than I think we all wanted to admit? But I'm not too sure it was. We look better today, obviously, but that the game one against the Orioles was um definitely right a disaster. Like what are you gonna do? But interesting time to let go of him. Because right now he's in the second year of his 3-year 275 or $21.75 million contract. So I believe we owe him north of $10 million for his buyout right now, if I'm correct on that, which is, I mean, right, the Fenway Sports Group has the money. Of course, they don't like to spend it a lot with the Red Sox. They seem a little more focused on the Liverpool spending spree in the Premier League, where they dropped 500 million British pounds or euros or whatever the reporting statistic is over there on the Prem this summer. And obviously, Liverpool having a terrible season. Topic for another day, but the money's there. So obviously, the 10 million buyout's not the biggest concern, but you'd really like to, maybe see that 10 million be kind of invested uh, back into the team. But again, that's what makes me think this has been maybe a long time coming, because you would think that $10 million buyout kind of gives them some sort of security cushion to kind of, say, hey, like, give me some time to work it out this season, right? You don't want to bite this bullet on this $10 million spontaneous decision. It's only late April, not even May yet. Um, Give me some time, but I guess the Red Sox see differently, to be honest. So, I mean, we haven't broken 90 since, I believe it's 2 or 3 years ago now. Obviously, last year was 89 and 73. So yes, playoffs, but obviously we got absolutely flattened. So recent success probably has to be a factor there. But I also don't know if you can. This is gonna sound like I'm talking about like Earl Grant again, or Bill O'Brien, but is this his fault, or is Fenway Sports Group and management not doing the proper things to support them? I mean, right? The Sox failed to retain Bregman this year, leaving for the Cubs, and we bring in Durbin to fill that void. And I mean, we talked about it with me, Connor, and Colin on the last episode 10, but Durbin is just uh, shockingly bad. Like, it's actually horrendous. Like, watching him on defense, watching him bat. He's batting 165 right now, with 1 home run, 10 RBIs, and 14 strikeouts. So, I mean, it's it's absolutely ridiculous that that's who we thought was Story's replacement. And it's really biting us in the ass right now, and we're paying the price. And it's not Alex Cora's fault that we couldn't retain Bregman. It's Fenway Sports Group. It's management that doesn't want to pay him, or doesn't want to negotiate. And obviously, that's not. I mean, that's nothing new, right? We saw it with Deverts and Mookie Betts and Bogarts, Jackie Brett. Like, the list goes on of all these seemingly franchise cornerstone players that we have let just walk right out the door. I mean, really, the Bregman, Mookie Betts, and Rafi Devers ones obviously sting the most, because just absolutely ridiculous to think that we didn't want to shell out the money for them, because we have it, right? Again, sounds exactly like we could be talking about Boston College, right? It's the same deal. We have the money, we just don't want to spend it, and now your manager's the scapegoat. Yeah, I don't think you can put all the blame on him. And even after the Friday loss yesterday, Cora, and quote, verbatim, he said, "We got a bunch of kids that are learning the game. It's my job to teach them." Um, like, you just analyze that statement on the face, it sounds like he's a T-ball coach. We have kids learning the game. This is the MLB. This is the pinnacle of world baseball, and you're saying you have the roster capabilities of people who need to learn the game, and your job is to teach them. At this level, you are a manager. You just manage them. You make the right calls. You manage the bullpen. You set the lineup. This is not coach pitch practice. This is not little league practice where we're working on our power out of the box. And I'm sure Fenway, the owners didn't really like that quote because it paints it how it is, right? We have a really young lineup that we're not supporting well, and that's the product you get for doing that. So it's again, it kind of seems hard to blame him here, to be honest, right? I mean, you still have three of your supposed best players. I mean, obviously Durbin, not your best player, but I mean, if you bring him in to replace Bregman, you really would think he should be. Like I said, he's batting 165. Duran and Trevor Story both at 198 still. Horrible, horrible batting out of them. Obviously, Roman Anthony just went down with the injury, and he's been at Loco apparently with his own private table, like we talked about, which is, like I said last episode, shades of Tyler Sagan, but absolutely ridiculous stuff going on with the team right now. And right, like when you are the manager, I guess that does fall on your shoulders, and obviously you're going to be the first person that people look to. But we really gotta think, how much of this was really his fault, like how much of this was really, in his control. I I'm hesitant to blame him here, but I mean, obviously it doesn't matter what I think. He's gone, right? We've dusted him and all of his assistants. We kept excuse me, we kept Andrew Bailey, like I said, the pitching coach, who seems to be a strong candidate for the interim position. We'll see how that shakes out. I'm sure they're gonna have to appoint somebody very soon. We play tomorrow at 1:35, right? In that third game against the Orioles. So it'll be interesting, right? And Bailey at the Angels in 2019, and then with the Giants from 2020 to 2023, and then he's been with the Sox ever since. Also, extensive playing career from 09 to 11 with the Athletics. Red Sox player during that World Series 2013 run, and then with the Yankees in 2015, Phillies 2016, and then Angels 16-17 before he coaches for him 2 years later. AL Rookie of the Year in 09 and a 2X All-Star in 09 and 2010. So this guy, Bailey, clearly knows what he's doing. He has the coaching experience. He has the playing experience. Don't be shocked if that's who we name to be the interim. How will he fare? I'm not too sure. Again, like, are we going to support him, or are we just gonna feed him to the sharks and say, well, he's an interim, I don't expect anything from him anyway, so why support him, and just let him flounder and die? That I wouldn't be shocked if that's the approach we go with. But I mean, again, 162 game season, you are only 7 games under 500. I don't know why we hit the panic button right now. It's a little worrying to me that this is the route we have taken. Again, 7.5 games behind the Yankees right now. Obviously not great, but I mean, things were looking up. Cora had proven he can win again. I guess his last, if you want to call it successful season, might have been 2021. So, geez, 5 years ago, which sounds crazy to say, but I'm just a little perplexed by this. If you couldn't tell, if I haven't said it enough already. But I mean, we'll see. Like Craig Breslow, CBO, Chief Baseball Officer of the Red Sox, he certainly has to take the blame for this, right? People are already mad about him in the stands. They were doing student nines for the Yankees series, which is unheard of. I mean, they never do student nines for, big series like that. And obviously they're doing it there. And so we all went, and you have a bunch of people, and everyone's chanting his name and telling him to get out and whatever. So, I mean, it's clear that not everybody blames Cora, but I mean, I think you got to look at Breslow. You got to look at Mister Mister Craig over there, and see what's going on. And even the Mets, right, who had that 12-game skid and then obviously just won one more. The Phillies, who I think are on a 9-game skid, like Carlos Mendoza managing the Mets, Rob Thompson, obviously with the Phillies. They, similar position to Cora, right? Different background, perhaps, but you see more accountability in the Mets and Phillies organization from the higher ups. They're not just shoveling all their garbage onto their managers when times are getting tough. So Craig Breslow, like, what are we doing? You should probably be next. I think I'm not the only person who holds that take that Breslow should probably be going to happen. But I mean, we'll see, right? The AL this year, not very strong. If we can clean up the bullpen and, with batting at the even at the plate, you don't have to be good. You can be incrementally better than what you've put out there so far, and you will do leagues better than the first 27 games. I'm not saying everyone's got to start hitting above 300, but like, we are that bad at the plate that the smallest improvement will take us a long way. So again, what's next year in the ALS, or excuse me, in the AL. We'll see who we appoint next. I think it will be Bailey. Again, very interesting. But I mean, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and break that. Let me know what you guys think. If you were taken aback or if you were pretty shocked like I was. Hey, we'll see, right? I mean, Boston sports in an interesting spot. Bruins just went down 2-1, game 4 Sunday. We'll be covering that, of course. Celtics up 2-1. Tatum, absolute playoff takeover. Like, this guy, like, post Achilles doesn't matter. Still a dog, right? So hopefully the Red Sox can really glue that together. Pat's putting together a pretty good draft right now. We'll have probably episode 12, I want to say. With our good buddy Nakul Ramesh, we're going to be doing probably breaking down, maybe the top 15 picks and then going through all the Patriots draft picks, seeing what the outlook looks like, right? Pats, we're going to have the hardest, or it's either hardest or like top 3 hardest strength of schedule. Huge change for Drake May, who had the easiest strength of schedule this past season. We'll see how we fare there. But I think it's been a strong draft so far. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for listening in again. This is just a quick little blurb of my frustration, if you can indulge me there. But that is all we have for episode 11. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Substack. Give us a follow on Instagram at Greenline Gazette. We're trying out a little new content with some more like ESPN style graphics. As a new form of engagement. So give me any feedback on that if you can. I'm using the free Canva right now, so I could use a lot of tips. But all for now. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and we will be back shortly.